Good morning. Happy Monday. I had to think about what day of the week we were on. So yeah, happy Monday. Just waiting for Facebook to sync up. Hope you guys had a great weekend. This weekend will be the 4th of July, Independence Day of our great nation. Currently in some turmoil, but still, regardless, it's a great nation, and for a lot of you, it's the only nation you've ever lived in, and frankly, it's the best one you're ever going to live in. People have a tendency to forget that, but we take a lot for granted. So today we are going to talk shortly about procrastination. You all are awesome at it. We all are. There's a book that I love called Eat That Frog. And basically, it poses the question, if you were told that you have to eat a frog today, when would you do it? Good morning. Big week coming up for me. So yeah, we actually, we'll sidetrack for a minute. I'll give you guys some numbers since Matt said that. So we had a minor modification to our schedule just because of coordination and stuff. So schedule, what I'm talking about is Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Gus Hernandez and I will be run walking the Northville Placid Trail. So day one, we're going to run from Northville to Piseco, and then Piseco to either Lake Durant or to Long Lake, depending on how we feel. And then the last day, we will continue onward to the beautiful town of Lake Placid. So yeah, we're looking at either 43 miles on day one, 43 on day two, and 52 on day three, or 43, 57, 38. We'll kind of see how it's all depends on day two, how we feel, how early we can get rolling. But yeah, it should be a fun week for us. And then hopefully, that's going to be the 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe. I'm not really sure the dates, but that'll end our 75 hard that we've been doing for the last 75 days, which forces you, tying back to this, forces you to not be able to procrastinate because you have a lot of work to do and not a lot of time. So why do we procrastinate? Time and consistency. The human brain tends to value immediate results versus future rewards. So an example of this could be, I've got all this work to do. Ooh, I should go online and buy something, i.e. a new Trek Madone 2021. Here they're out. I'm kidding. I'm not buying a new bike. I just bought one. That'd be crazy to buy 2 bikes in 1 year. So an example that I would relate to a lot of people having is a goal is I want to lose weight. I want to lose 50 pounds, right? You're setting that goal for your future self. So me in, let's say, 1 year wants to be trim and fit and 50 pounds lighter, right? However, I set that goal, I'm doing it this time. And then I go out of the driveway, I go and I get a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, and I just see that they have some special donut, the July 1st donut. And you're like, oh man, I really want a donut. So your present self has to take action. So you can think of yourself as like 2 parts. Future self, like the things that you envision your future to be, and then the human body in which you currently contain. In Matt's example would be M&Ms. So present self has to take the action though. Like that has to do the work. And you know what to do. You know you shouldn't have that donut because that donut's not helping you get to that goal, but the consequences of that donut aren't big enough. They're not, the consequences are too far away. If I have donuts every day for the next 20 years, I'm going to end up probably dead. But a diabetic, I'm going to have probably some plaque buildups from all the trans fats, and I'm going to be, you know, morbidly obese and all of these things, right? Because all I do is eat donuts. You know that's going to happen, but you're willing to make that sacrifice of, I can have it right now because I'm not going to have any immediate negative repercussions. So it's the same, and I've told a couple people this in my office, is it's very similar to when someone has celiacs, or when someone has a lactose intolerance to the point where if they have a milk product, they have horrible diarrhea within the hour. That's an immediate reaction. So the likelihood of them being like, yeah, sure, let's go grab ice cream and then go run for 10 miles probably is not going to happen, because that isn't worth it to them, right? Because having rancid diarrhea is not their idea of a fun time. Same thing, you know, if you have, you know, if you drink something and it immediately makes you vomit, i.e. any alcohol that you drank in college, like everybody has like one drink that all they do got to smell it, and they like start to, you know, their throat starts to elevate. The likelihood of you drinking that in the short term to get that short-term benefit is super low, because you know the immediate consequence. But when it comes to, especially when it comes to food, a lot of times when it comes to food, if there's not an immediate consequence, you are able to justify it in your mind better than how you can justify pretty much anything else. And you can do it so fast that you don't even realize you've done it. And that's why I always say you have to be super conscious about the decisions you make. So super conscious of, yes, this is a donut. Yes, my short-term desire is to eat this donut because I know that there is no immediate repercussion for eating said donut. However, it's not going to help me in any way, shape, or form get to my desired goal, period. And that just has to be the end of it. And it's not a well, you know, I've worked really hard. You're not a dog, so we don't get treats. You know, food is food. Food's, you know, it's either going to help you, it's going to hurt you, or it's going to just kind of be there. But a lot of times we use that kind of mindset of, oh, it's only one donut. Well, if it's only one donut today and only one donut tomorrow and only one donut 5 days from now, you just had a baker's dozen, right? No, I guess a baker's half dozen. You just had 7 donuts, 6 donuts, whatever it is. So you have to be ready. And when you set a goal, you have to say to yourself, like, okay, we don't get treats. No. Hey, good morning, Missy. We don't get treats. We're not dogs. We're humans. Dogs get treats, and cats. Kevin gets treats. But you have to have that mindset of, I know what I'm getting into when I'm having this. This is if I have this donut, I might have it, but it's not helping me get to my goal. And if I have it again, it's actually putting me further and further away from my goal. So having that mindset, it's kind of changes how you view that entire action, right? Instead of using it as, well, you know, it's only one. Well, you know, sure. And, you know, but again, over the long term, it's not just one. So, because then at what point do you say, okay, well, I can have one a day and then it's okay. Or I can have one a week, maybe. I mean, it's all relative to your goal and the actions that you're taking to get to your goal. If you're sitting there and again, we'll use this 50-pound weight loss as an example, and you're like, I want to lose 1 pound a week for the next 50 weeks because that's magically going to happen. And you aren't willing to change things like taking a donut out of your life or taking a soda a day out of your life. Like these little pieces, again, like I always say the 1%, the donut, the soda, the this, the that, those all start to add up. And at what point do you say, okay, well, I'm not hitting my goal because as much as I've made, some changes, I haven't made enough changes. So procrastination. So you can think of it as, again, you have a future self, which is like down the road, and then you have the present self, and just know the present self has to take that action today. And when you do that, you have to absolutely stay mindful, because your body wants that immediate reward, but you have to be mindful of what that future consequence can be. So if you need to lose 50 pounds, you already know what that consequence is. And we all know, like, if we eat the typical standard American diet, we know what the consequence is. 60% of our population is obese. So that's the standard American diet right there. So if you're following that, it's probably time for you to start thinking about your future self a little bit more and starting to reverse some of that stuff. And again, how is a donut helping you to get to your future self? And if you can't, like, honestly, truly, with a genuine piece of you, answer that in a way that it is helping you get there, then is it really worth it? Probably not. But again, that's your decision. It's not my decision. I can't make that decision for you. I personally am not a big fan of donuts. I think the last time I had a donut was Coach Sarah and I split someone brought the Lululemon girls brought in like the glazed and confused maple one. And her and I split it. And God, I love maple and I love bacon, but not as a donut. I'd rather just eat bacon and drink maple syrup. Yeah, no donuts. They give Matt heartburn. Yeah, we don't want that. So that's today. Procrastination. Don't procrastinate. Buy the book. Eat That Frog. It's a quick read, or if you Audible at 1.2, I think it's only like a 3-hour book. So go out there, think about your future self at all times, and embrace the journey to get to where you want to go. Because, and again, if you do it correctly, you're positioning yourself and setting yourself up for all of these little, like, personal milestones, if you will, or personal goals or rewards of like, I hit this goal, because my goal is 50 pounds. If I lose a pound that first week, it's like, I crushed my goal. That was my idea. Like, that's what I wanted to do. Hit that second goal, hit that third goal. And those are what's going to help reinforce, like, yeah, what I'm doing is totally worth it. Having all these setbacks, why am I getting these setbacks? It's like, because are you procrastinating and like stepping backwards, falling into those old habits that we're working to break? Or, is there something else going on? So, but again, that's where you have to be very mindful of you and not just super reactive. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. That sun's shining like it has been. So please get outside, get some vitamin D. Go for a walk, go for a run, go for a bike, go for a stroll, whatever you got to do. Get your asses outside. Stay safe. Continue to practice your social distancing. And I will see you cool cats tomorrow.